Morning, peeps. I've got the book again. I didn't do one yesterday. That was really naughty because I'll tell you why it was naughty. I could have done with it because some horrible stuff went down, and I really needed that positive energy that this gives me doing this. So, that it gives me, strength of some sort doing these videos. So I didn't do it, and some horrible stuff went down, and I really could have done with it. Really unlucky the way things happened, and for me, and now I've got to deal with it today. It's like, oh, anyway, I'm going to do it today. Feeling more determined. Oh, I've fully got my pyjamas on today. I did go out for a walk, but it took longer than usual because I did a bit of shopping as well. I put a tiny bit of makeup on because my nose was looking red, and ta-da, got a picture behind me. I absolutely love that picture, and it was kicking about because I've been rearranging things in the flat and couldn't find anywhere to put it, so I thought, maybe this could be my backdrop. It's quite nice, but unfortunately I'm blocking it. But anyway, there's so much stuff I want to share with you guys. It's so frustrating just reading one passage out of this, but it takes ages, so I might cry and God knows what. So let's get on. Right, I've got a little yawn. Do the breathing thing. Oh God. Now I've started videoing, I'm not relaxed. What I need is my own notes about being present. Oh, that's crazy. Maybe I should do that at the beginnings. Anyway, I want to get on with this bloody book and see how I go, see if some feelings come up and I can get back inside myself. Okay, this is good stuff. It's worth listening to. So we got to the part of, and this is the next subtitle, Freeing Yourself from Your Mind, which is all good stuff, yeah? Can't tell what you can see there. And the questioner says, what exactly do you mean by watching the thinker? Okay, I'm going to face this way this time, I think. And when someone goes to the doctor and says, I hear a voice in my head, he or she will most likely be sent to a psychiatrist. The fact is that in a very similar way, oh God, why have I got the giggles now? The fact is, in a very similar way, God, what's happened? Now I've got total giggles. I just relaxed there for a second. I don't know if that's what's done it. No, relaxing can make me giggle. I've been really uptight. The fact is that in a very similar way, virtually everyone hears a voice or several voices in their head all the time. The involuntary thought processes that you don't realise you have the power to stop, basically. Continuous monologues or dialogues, they are. Oh yeah, that's better. I can breathe now. You've probably come across mad people, in inverted commas, people in the street incessantly talking or muttering to themselves. Well, that's not much different from what you and all other normal people do, except that you don't do it out loud. It's not very light here. Can't see very well. The voice comments, speculates, judges, compares, complains, likes and dislikes, and so on. The voice isn't necessarily relevant to the situation you find yourself in either at the time. It may be reviving the recent or distant past or rehearsing an imaginary possible future situation. Here, it often imagines things going wrong and negative outcomes. This is called worry. Sometimes this soundtrack is accompanied by visual images or mental movies. Even if the voice is relevant to the situation at hand, it will interpret things in terms of the past. This is because the voice belongs to your conditioned mind, which is a result of all your past history, as well as the collective cultural mindset you inherited. So, your family can be a culture, and the country you live in, all the cultures we're talking about. I'm just going back to your mind often imagines things going wrong and negative outcomes. This is called worry. I remember reading a thing, some angelic thing, and the angels were saying, most people hurtling towards, if there is kind of in a car crash situation where things suddenly all go wrong kind of thing, they imagine the worst possible outcome, and so that's what happens kind of thing. It's like, It's like, wow, is it possible to actually change the outcome of the car crash just by thought alone, by raising your vibration and knowing that you're protected by angels, for example, whatever you want to think and believe in, God, or, whatever, the universe, energy, can save you. So that was like, wow, that was a long time ago I read that. It's so true, folks. We're always imagining negative stuff because we're afraid of it. And it's a habit as well. We're not in the habit of imagining good stuff, and that we're not in the habit of it. We don't know that we're powerful, that our mind is like a blinking radar thing. It's very, very powerful. It's a crystal. They found the crystal skulls. That was for us to, our mind, our brain is like a transmitter receiver. It's very powerful. We don't know that. We're not taught that. We're taught that we're at consequence of the world, what happens to us. So there you go. Right, back to this. So you interpret negatively as well. You interpret on what happened to you in the past. You project that onto people, situations, everything. What happened to you in the past if you don't realise that you're doing it, kind of thing. So you see and judge the present through the eyes of the past and get a totally distorted view of it. It's not uncommon for it's not uncommon for the voice to be a person's own worst enemy. Yeah, we are our own worst enemies so often. God. Many people live with a tormentor in their head that continuously attacks and punishes them and drains them of their vital energy. It is the cause of untold misery and unhappiness, as well as of disease, in fact. Good point. The good news is that you can free yourself from your mind. This is the only true liberation. You can take the first step right now. Start listening to the voice in your head as often as you can. Pay particular attention to any repetitive thought patterns, those old gramophone records that have been playing in your head perhaps for many years. This is what I mean by watching the thinker, which is another way of saying listen to the voice in your head, be there as a witnessing presence. When you listen to that voice, listen to it impartially. That is to say, do not judge or condemn what you hear. For doing so would mean that the same voice has come in again through the back door. You'll soon realise there is the voice, and here I am listening to it, watching it. This I am realisation, the sense of your own presence, is not a thought. It arises from beyond the mind. I was going to end it there. And as I was reading that last bit, I was thinking, I was going to end it there. What am I going to do? Oh, Jesus. Because there's so many things I want to say. But because I'm not present when I'm reading the flipping things, I'm starting to get more relaxed as I'm doing it. It's such a pain being nervous. Oh. So I think I'll carry on reading for now. What was anything I wanted to say about this? Oh, just that the voice in your head is so important. It's everything. I went for my 5-minute walk, which turned into shopping and stuff. And just watching other people walking down the road, thinking about this stuff that I'm going to do with you guys, and looking at all the people walking along, sort of thing, not knowing about this stuff. And it's like, I feel so sorry for them because they don't realise that what they're thinking as they're going along, how they're feeling. Actually, it's more feeling than thinking. It causes a vibration and attracts what's going to happen next, kind of thing. So, as I was walking along, I realised that it's not so much, literally, like I just learned this as I was walking on the road, or just sussed it, kind of thing, had a clear insight into it, that's why a lot of people can't get law of attraction stuff to work, just like using affirmations and stuff, or spending time visualising what they want and all that. It's brilliant stuff, because you're spending some time, at least, in a positive state, kind of thing. But the reason that won't manifest what your dreams so often is because it's what you're actually feeling. Because it's all energy, right? And a thought is energy. It's like radio wave, you can't see it, but it's still energy, it's still causing vibration, kind of thing. And so are feelings, but feelings are much more intense, I think. They're much stronger vibration than that. I believe, because I've studied a bit of Abraham Hicks and all sorts of different people. Bentino Mazzaro is brilliant. I'm onto him at the moment. And anyway, so yeah, the reason people can't get law of attraction to work is because they're just having thoughts like, raising their vibration to I am young and pretty, I am abundant, I can manifest money easily, whatever. I'm getting younger and younger every day is one of my favourite ones, and fitter and sexier and sexier. Just why not? Why not say that, then it becomes a possibility, even though I'm getting older and more crusty, kind of thing, and craggy. It's so funny the way we look as we get older. But you can say that stuff, but if you've got like a deep held belief from the past that you're ugly or you're not good enough, all this crap and your conditioned mind that Eckhart talks about from the past, then that feeling is stronger, I believe, than the small amount of time you spend just thinking, these words kind of thing, or visualizing what you want. It's almost like can be like a mechanical process of visualizing what you want. If you don't really believe that is the way to manifest what you want, for example, then chances are it's not going to happen because it's how you feel. So the thoughts create the feelings, and so you really do need to delve into the subconscious, beliefs that you're holding, whatever method you can use for that. And what I've done is a ton of therapy over many years, which is extremely valuable, very enlightening. Because I always wondered, what the hell's wrong with me? So as soon as I could, I went into therapy. I started reading every book under the sun. I used to work next to not Barnes and Noble, what's it called? Books, etc. I loved that shop. It was in the same block as I worked in, kind of thing. Our offices were above some shops and a pub. It was great. It was perfect. I used to go to the pub and sit outside in the sun. There was sun out there as well, and go into books, etc. to get my fill of self-help books. Oh my god! And then I found Primal Scream, and went on to do primal therapy. That was awesome. It's exactly what I needed. It's obviously meant to be. So yeah, I did tons of therapy on myself, and you realise, you're almost entirely made up of like what happened to you growing up, kind of thing. Yeah, everything your parents told you and what you've come to believe about yourself from your past. But that's not you. That a baby born into different circumstances has different thoughts and beliefs, and they attract different things. They manifest different things, and so it's like you're born a blank slate. And what your parents tell you, and culture and everything, creates what you become, or your predominant thoughts all the time. And also your soul's there playing a part. So, yeah, the therapy thing, the thing that you can do to actually get law of attraction to work for you, to shift, these unconscious beliefs, is journaling at home. That's one thing. That was brilliant for me. But then I've worked for years and years on contacting like my spirit guides and stuff, so I've got all that help going on. And what happened was I realised that I wanted to manifest money so that I can spend all my time doing this and not have to earn money, but through the work that I do, this legal services stuff, right? And I love it, actually, what I do. I love it. I'm really lucky. But I wouldn't be able to do this full time because there's so much stuff to do. I'll have to talk about it next time. But I started journaling because I couldn't afford therapy anymore at that stage, and I started journaling, and my little spoke to me. Oh, I'd love to tell you what little said because it's part of you believing me, kind of thing, and how it all works. We choose what happens to we choose our lives, before we come here. So I don't want it to sound like I'm blaming anyone for anything that they did to me as a child, kind of thing. I chose this life. I chose it deliberately to be the opposite of what I am, kind of thing. So I'll have to go on to that another time. Okay, right, make it a good day. Yeah, make it a good day. Don't take life too seriously. I've got my notes here. Or yourself. Laugh at yourself as much as you can, especially at yourself. Oh, God, I'm messing this up. Anyway, enjoy yourself and go for what you want. It's the most important thing, right? Out of all that, go for what you want, yeah? Don't let silly little things like wearing pyjamas stop you. This isn't me going to work in my pyjamas. It's really obvious it's my pyjamas. That's a nice green. I don't know if you can see it on here. I like the contrast of the colours, blendy colours. Bye.